Recording going here. Let me know if you can hear me, see me.
Yep, all good.
All right, all right, all right. Good, good, good. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. Close.
Like your XRP hat.
Thank you, thank you. Got to diversify a little bit. I got too much Bitcoin stuff laying around. All right. We are live, I believe. Yes. Did you guys see a little pop-up that said recording? I think we're recording.
Yes, we did, Nico.
Okay. All right. So I got knocked out of a couple of my little open positions. I moved my stop loss close to break even, and then it popped back down. This is very volatile right now, guys. What's going on? And it's kind of hard to scalp when there's so much volatility. So the other option is more longer term trades, or, depending on which direction the overall market is going. But then you got to run the risk of a drawdown. So let me just explain that to you here in a second. You can see my screen. So this was the bullish flag. Even Chad gave it long signal. It broke to the upside of it last night, but I also knew that we were up against resistance, this yellow line. Usually bull flags they break to the upside 70% of the time. And as I always say, the only time they don't, that 30% that they don't, it's usually because we're up against major resistance. And if we zoom out here, you can see the major resistance and the overall downward trending channel is this line right here, and we were right up against it. So that's the daily. Let's go down to the 4 hour. You can see it a little differently here. This was it. We were hitting the top of that, and as you can see back here, last time we did that, it came all the way back down to the bottom. Last time we did that, before that, it came down. Last time we did that, before that, it came down. So as long as we're in this downward trending channel, we run the risk of continuing downward. We do have to break out of this, and the smart thing to do is wait for the breakout. But a lot of people are anxious. They want signals. They want to trade. And we know that there's a little move. There could have been a nice little move. That's why I went long, because right here, if we zoom in on the lower time frames on a scalp, this would have been a pump from here to here, at least. And that's why, let's just go into the signal channel and see where I put on the Bitcoin. I put the TP at 106, but that's because I was going to move my stop loss into profit. And the reason why is because if it did break this to the upside, finally, because it is due, we are due for that to happen. It would have been something like a move to the upside like this, right up to this level, 100K level. And obviously I didn't want to get, if I put a stop loss right here, a take profit target right here at this resistance, it would have been a much smaller move. So what I do rather is that I don't put a take profit target here. I put it way out of the way. And then once it starts to move closer towards it, I just move my stop loss into profit. And then if it bounces here and comes back down, I'll just close the trade out. But if it goes through and we finally have that breakthrough moment, which we've been waiting for, then I would be in a nice long position from way down here. So that's the risk you take. Now, in this case, it did break to the upside, but then it fell right out. This is what it looks like. Kind of broke to the upside of this downward trending resistance and retested and started to climb, did not make a higher high, and then just fell right back. And not only did it fall right back, but look where it fell back to. It fell back not only below this resistance line, but it fell back below this resistance and support line, and then retested. It retested underneath both of those, and then dropped, and then came back up and retested again, both of those. Look at that. It came right up to that one and wicked up to that one. So where are we headed? It doesn't mean we're going down all the way to the bottom again, because let's just zoom out again and see where this bottom line is. Let's go up to the 4-hour, this yellow line. This yellow line, I had stop right here at this orange line, because when we came down and hit that orange line, that is the overall upward trending support going all the way back to the bear market bottom, this orange line. We hit it once here when we came down to 80,500, bounced. We had a higher low here, higher high and a higher high, and we might just have another higher low. So I don't want to prejudge this and go short right now, because I don't know that it's going to come all the way down to here, but it's certainly possible. But what's also possible is if we just draw a trend line from this low right to there, we are technically in still an upward trending apex inside the downward trending channel. So as you see me go over this time and time again, hopefully that's starting to make sense. You got to zoom out, because if you're just on the lower time frames and you saw that break, you're like, oh shit, it's going down, I'm going short. But don't jump in just chasing the market. Don't jump in chasing price. That's how you get burned, because it could dump like that, but as soon as it does, it maybe bounces on previous support and resistance. And you got to look for where that's at. And if it does that, that could just be where it's coming down to before climbing back up. Also, it could come all the way down to here and bounce. That would just be a higher low like it was. So we would then have basically an upward trending channel inside of the downward trending channel. And what we would then be waiting for is either to bounce here or come down and hit that line and then wind into the apex and then break out, or wind into the apex and then break out to the downside. So I'm not quick to go short until it breaks this line. And then even then, you have to understand the next support is a major support, this orange line. So do I really want to short in between this tiny little space, or do I want to wait? Because even if you take away this channel, this line and this line, we're still winding in to an apex, which could look like this instead. And then it could either break out to the upside or the downside.
Well,
Now, this breakout here to the downside would be a major one. That would be a game changer in the short term. That would mean that we are going down into the 70s. Sorry, someone was saying something. If you have a question, go ahead.
I
So,
don't.
Anthony, are you talking to me? It seems like you keep coming off mute. But so that's Bitcoin. Now let's look at XRP. Obviously, everything's correlating. Bitcoin dumps, XRP dumped, but XRP is still kind of in its little upward. I mean, it's in an overall downward trending channel like Bitcoin, but it's still bouncing on its little upward trending support line right here. And until it breaks that, I'm in a longer term swing trade with XRP. I am negative on this trade, but I'm also expecting bigger things to happen. And I'm taking a risk, because the big thing that I'm expecting to happen is a parabolic move to the upside to the $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 range. And I'm allowing myself to go negative in anticipation of that and waiting for that. And if it doesn't happen and this dumps down to $1.70 again and hits this bottom, I'm staying in because, well, let's just go and see. Let's go to, this is USDT margin. I'm staying in because my liquidation is not far away, so I can't stay in forever, right? So I would have to add contracts. So let's just, and the reason why my liquidation is where it's at, because if it gets below this level, then it's then I'm going to back out. I'm going to close out the trade and wait for, hold on a second. I don't know what's going on here with my USDT chart. It's lagging. It's not operating the same. It's happening again. Got to figure out.
Yeah, you have a really high latency, Nico.
Yeah. It's only on USDT. It doesn't happen on my coin margin charts.
Did you try the cash and cookies trick?
I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. Maybe I didn't. It didn't work.
I would bet that's what it is. You have so many lines on the chart, it has to remember them all.
I remove them
then-
like every other day though, and then I start
Do
over.
ya?
Yeah,
And I don't know what it is. It's got to be that.
it could be. It could be that.
Are you hardwired or wireless?
Hardwired.
Hardwired?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's all those open tabs.
Well, it doesn't, I don't have any of that problem on any other website, on any other channel or any other link. So it's only, and I don't have that problem on Phemex when I'm on a coin margin, only on USDT margin.
That's the only reason I think it'd be the lines, because you're not drawing as many in coin M, right? But you are in US dollar tether in a lot of different coins. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that could be. We'll figure it out. Anyway, my liquidation is below the floor here, and that's, let me just zoom out a little bit. So I was willing to stay in. I entered probably at a bad time up here because we were bouncing on major support. And also there was some news coming out at that time when I entered. So I was betting on a pump to the upside and a final breakout of that downward channel. That didn't happen. We're a little lower than that. And I figured, you know what the hell? I'm not really risking a ton on this. I'll just stay in for the time being and see what happens here. Let me just redo this. So here we have the downward trending. I am going to get rid of these lines. It is too much. In fact, let me just do that right now. I don't know how it's not even letting me right click on it to remove it. Anyway, we're bouncing on this floor again, guys.
Try bringing up your task manager once and see if there's something that's using a lot of the resources, maybe.
Where is that?
So search task manager.
This removed all the drawings.
Did that help at all?
No.
Control Alt Delete to get to the task manager. It's a Windows thing. Another guy I follow had an issues with his lines yesterday too on TradingView, and they popped up.
All right, what am I doing in Task Manager?
24%. You see nothing's peaking it out, right? It's not at 100% anywhere, is it?
Memory seems to be.
Memory seems to be high. What's using the most memory at the top there? Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge. So one of those two is probably bogging your system down.
Yeah, probably from the open tab someone mentioned. I know I got a lot of them. And this is just this window, guys. I have other browsers open on other screens with multiple tabs as well. So
Right on.
I get
So
it.
that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to see. That gives you a pretty good answer.
Yeah. It's just weird that it's only on the USDT charts.
Yeah, that's weird. It's weird.
Let me go back. Let me just go over to coin margin XRP and show you the difference. I even have to refresh it when I do that. It's like, takes a while. So see, look at this. No problems here.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'll show you on coin margin. Doesn't matter. I just had to open position on the other one, but this is the floor that I was just talking about. We have this price range down here, and we're coming back into it right now. We're bouncing on it, and we do have a little bit of an upward trending higher lows here, but it's possible that we just go right through that, and this line just goes away, and we're still in an apex down here, and maybe it's this. Maybe this is the floor right down here, and if that's the case, it doesn't. To me, it would have to go below this, but if it breaks out up here, that's fine. I'll stay in it. But if it goes below this, which is the $1.75, as you can see, it did wick down below that a couple times, but most of the time it comes to the bottom of this channel. Boom, boom. This one didn't come all. This one wicked all the way through, but that was that big dump on the 10th. That was an anomaly. That doesn't normally happen. We bounced right back up into this channel when that happened. So this is the major support level down here. And as far as the top goes, this is really the zone up here. So we're in between, we're in a sideways range. We're ranging sideways. We're in a downward trending channel inside the sideways range. And the last time that happened looked like this. Very similar. Very similar. We wicked down through it just like this. Boom. We bounced on it, came down to the bottom, bounced and finally broke out, held support and climbed to the top again. I'm expecting that. I want to see that happen. Why am I expecting that? Because that patterns repeat until they don't. The trend is your friend until the end. This is the downward trend. You're shorting, 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 shorting. Once it breaks out, this trend is no longer your friend. The trend is over, and this is a new trend. This is a trend, but this whole thing is a trend going sideways. So until it breaks above this or below this, it's trending sideways. But when it breaks out of here, it's going to trend back up to the top. And then once we get back up to the top, again, we're going to make these decisions. We're going to say, okay, is it bouncing on the top? Is it going to come back down? Or is it finally ready to break through this top? And until it does that, it's in a sideways trend. But we're at the bottom of the sideways trend. So the good news is we have this uptick swing potential here. And there's no guarantee that that's going to continue forever. But in fact, it won't continue forever. But because before this, it was this down here and a sideways trend. And then that dropped down even further to another sideways trend. So these sideways trends, this dropped down further. And then down here, there was another sideways trend. And then it dropped down even further. So we've had these up, sideways, up, sideways, up, sideways trends going on for a while. So I'm expecting it to keep climbing up, not go backwards, because there's a lot of things happening. There's like seven XRP ETFs that have already went live. There's like another 10 or 12 waiting for approval. Billions of dollars of inflow coming in. There's no reason in the world for XRP to dump. But is it possible? Yes. And if it is, it's manipulated and it's just another buying opportunity for you at a lower price. They're trying to shake out the weak hands. They're trying to get all the crypto. That's fine. They're not getting mine. I'm just going to accumulate more. You just got to be strong when it comes to that. A lot of people freak out and they sell on these big dumps because they want to stop the bleeding. They feel like they've already lost. Like you bought XRP up here, for instance, or up here, and it's down here. You're thinking, oh shit, well, I bought it at $3.50. It's at $2 now. I'm already lost $1.50. And people say that they lost. And I'm like, first of all, you didn't lose anything until you sell it at a loss. It's called unrealized loss. If you're negative or the value of it is down, but you still have the same amount of coins, then you didn't lose anything yet. You still have the same amount of coins. It's just worth less than you paid for it at the moment. That's temporary. And if you can just withstand that pain, that feeling of feeling like you lost something and just hold on, that's a human nature that most people just don't get. It's called being counterintuitive. Okay. It's called being contrarian. You have to go against the grain. You have to go against what your brain is telling you. It's just like if you're fasting and you want to fast for 24 hours and only 8 hours has gone by since you ate and your stomach's growling, you have to ignore that. Your body's telling you to eat, but you have to ignore it. It's difficult. That's why most people can't do it. But when you do it and you ignore that, 20 minutes later, that grumbling in your stomach goes away and you're not hungry anymore. And then 4 hours after that, it's grumbling again. You ignore it and it goes away. And before you know it, you've completed a 24-hour fast or a 48-hour fast or a 72-hour fast. People do this all the time, and it's called mind over matter. So this is mind over matter. A lot of you freak out when things are dropping, but really, should I get out? I'm negative. Should I get out? No, buy more. That's the opposite of what your body is telling you to do, what your brain is telling you to do. But that's what wealthy investors do. And I'm not saying buy the dip all the time because that's not always correct. Buy the dip is a cliche we've all said, including myself. But the truth is that there are some times when the dip isn't done dipping. There are some times that when I dip, you dip, I dip. It doesn't work. As the song goes. I'm not trying to be funny, but sometimes you got to wait for the bounce after the dip. And sometimes the dip's not done dipping. And so, but if you buy the dip and then it keeps dipping and it's temporary, then what do? You dollar cost average, you buy more. Now, that's buying and hodling. If you're in a long position and it dips lower and you're negative, do you stay in that long position? That's the question. That's where you have to look and see where is the next support. Where is the next support? And so Unfortunately, I can't see it on Phemex, so let's go over to TradingView. And by the way, while we're on TradingView here, let's just look at what's going on. This is the 5-day Gaussian channel. We are below it, and we're retesting with long wicks. That's bearish. Sorry to say. That right there is a bear flag with a long wick up to retest and pull back. Okay, so where can we go from here? If we break 80K, we're going to 75. If we break 75, we're going to 70, which is the previous all-time high, 68.9, something around that range. And if we break that, guys, we're going to 60, between 61 and 63, and that will be the next probably bear market bottom, to be honest with you. Could it go lower than that? Yes, but that would probably be around the range. And it's nothing to fear or worry about. It's just you got to plan for it so you know when to enter that. Right now, we are sideways ranging with Bitcoin as well. Let's look at that. Here we have a pretty much a top range. But we could also, if you compare Bitcoin to gold, we're in a bear market already. But this could be looked at as a sideways range, and we're in it still. This is the previous resistance level at 74.5. We retested, wick down to the bottom of it here, bounced out, and we're coming down. Look at that, wick right to it, retest. Boom. Now, are we going to bounce and climb back out is the question. While we're still in this range, there's hope for another bullish move to the upside. Absolutely, for sure, and it can happen. And that would negate or nullify the bearish divergence that's happening down here on the RSI. So if I pull this down and touch the tops of all of these, boom, 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 obviously the highs are getting higher. But down here on the RSI, the highs are getting lower. That's bearish divergence. We also broke through the floor, and we're coming down to the bottom area of the RSI down to the 35 level. And if we break that dotted line down there, guys, I'm afraid to say, but that's usually bear market territory. Just go back and look throughout history every time that that's happened. Look at this. We get below the Gaussian channel, and look at the dotted line going straight down. As soon as we break the dotted line on the RSI, it's a huge drop. And we're below the dotted line. And that's bear market territory. Let's look at it over here. Same thing right here. We come down below the Gaussian channel. We drop below it. And as you can see down here, boom, we get below that dotted line. This is bear market. So I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just showing you what history has shown us so far. And that's all I can go by. I'm not going to use a crystal ball and say, guys, yeah, but this time is different. Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that. No one has any idea what's really going on, what Trump's doing. Doesn't matter what the media says, what any of these influencers say, doesn't matter. The banks have their own rules. The financial systems are all working on switching over to digital currency and blockchain technology. That's probably a fact, but it doesn't matter what Trump says or what Trump's doing. He's making rules. I mean, it does matter, but it's not like something that Trump's going to say, okay, guys, XRP to the moon. No, it's not going to happen. Now, the administration said that they are buying 1 million Bitcoins over the next 5 years. That's a $100 billion investment into Bitcoin. And will that cause the price to go up? Yes. When are they going to start buying? Have they started buying? Are they accumulating? When is that all going to happen? It's probably going to be when the market, when we get to a bottom. There's probably some advisors, I would imagine. I would imagine that the administration and all of these big organizations have expert advisors out there telling them what to do. Right? So what we do as retail investors, we see what they're doing on the charts and we act accordingly. We're not trying to predict what's going to happen. We're reacting to what's happening. And generally speaking, this scenario that we're looking at right now is bearish, but it can become bullish because as long as we're above the 70, which is way down here, guys, as long as we're above that, in fact, I'll move that down a little bit, right to 70. As long as we're above this whole zone right here, we're still good. But the fact that we drop through we flip the EMA ribbon bearish right here. Got to stay above that in order to not be in a bear market. We flipped that bearish. We got to the middle line of the Gaussian channel on the 5-day, and then dropped through that to the bottom, and then dropped through that underneath, and now retesting underneath. That's bearish. We have the RSI bearish divergence dropping below the floor. That's bearish. So we got, when I make decisions, I say, how many of these boxes can I check off before I make a decision? And there's 4 boxes right there checked off. Now let's look at something else very important. Let's go over here to indicators, and let's go to RSI again and look at the stochastic RSI, and then bring that up to the weekly. We get rid of this one. So on the weekly time frame, well, look at this. This is interesting. We got down to the bottom, the 0 mark, basically, which is the floor, and we have a blue line cross the orange line to the upside. That's bullish. Okay, so we got one thing going in our direction. And it just so happens that right when that happens, we bounce. We're bouncing on the weekly. We're bouncing on the bottom of the Gaussian channel, but what we're bouncing on is this 80K zone, 80K level. And is that going to be temporary? And look at that wick. Boom. The wick. Look at that. I mean, it's not only to the exact bottom of the Gaussian channel on the weekly, but it's right to that line, which is the 80K zone. And it was previous support here as well. And it was resistance here before we broke through, because this is the weekly time frame. So we came up and hit that like a ceiling, and then finally broke through. And then we came down and retested, and bounced, and now we're retesting. Boom. And then we have a positive mark down here. So we have one thing showing us some hope where we can bounce. And we can, guys. I mean, it has happened when we got to the bottom on the weekly of the Gaussian channel and had a nice bounce. But this one didn't get all the way out. This one right here, look at this. We wicked way through it and then came right back up. But this one did not hold any candles, really. It held two candles below, but they were higher lows. Usually it flips, and that's not good. So we're not below it on the weekly, but on the 5-day we are, and I would say the 5-day is the most accurate. Now it is, to me, it looks like it's forming almost like a bear flag. If I go down, I mean, if I just look at it this way, it's like textbook bear flag forming. But what happens when, what do bear flags normally do 70% of the time? They break to the downside.
To the downside.
What do they do 30% of the time?
Break up.
Break to the upside. Why in that 30% of the time when they break to the upside, why does that happen? Because it's up against support. So there's a chance, just like our bull flag doesn't break to the upside when it's hitting resistance, that the bear flag doesn't break to the downside because it's up against support. And then we have the RSI flipping, blue line crossing the orange line to the upside. This line has to get above that dotted line. The orange line gets above the dotted line, and we might have a break back up to the upside here because we're up against major support as well. So that's likely to happen. Now, some people will look at this and say, oh, it's a bear flag, I'm going short. I'm not going to do that. I want to see if it holds. I'm not going to short for bear market until it breaks certain levels. I mean, if we break to 80K and we get into the 70s somewhere, then yeah, I have a feeling we're going to go down to 74.5 or 73.8, which was this previous high right here. If I draw a line right here at the top of that wick, just look to the right, all the way to the price, 73.8. And it just so happens to be right in the middle of this little zone I just put. Not only do we have resistance here, but we came down and retested it right there. Boom. And so if we break the 80K, this line, we're coming there for sure. And if we break that, we're coming here. What is here? That is previous all-time high. Let's just draw a line from there, right over there. Boom. Resistance. 68.8, something like that. I'll just bring that down a little bit more to match it. So that's the zone. That's the zone. I'll just bring that over. If we fall below that, guys, well, I mean, I can show you where all the next support levels are. We have resistance and support right there. That's 53. Okay. Below that, we have a whole zone down here at the 39K, but I would say that down here at 30 to 31K would be a resistance level that we never retested ever since we went through it. We never retested 30K, and that was major resistance, support, going all the way back to 2021. Support. So resistance on the way up from the bear market. Breakthrough, never retested. That's unusual. That's not proper or healthy market structure. Normally, when we break through a major resistance level, we usually retest it as support. We did here. We came up and hit 51K, broke through, retested it as support, broke through, new high here at 73.8, broke through up to all-time high, came back down and retested it here before climbing higher. All of this is healthy market structure. This was not. And some people say, well, is it possible to go that low still? Yes.
What's the Michael Saylor's Bitcoin average and Larry Fink's as well? I mean, they're the biggest Bitcoin holders. I mean, if once it goes down to that level, I mean, I don't think it'll go to that level.
They're in trouble.
Yes.
MicroStrategies would be in trouble.
I heard something on that.
Go ahead.
Michael Saylor says that he will be forced to sell only if he can't borrow more money.
Yeah. And he'll probably borrow more money and bail himself out. He'll pad it.
There's so many ways that corporations can get cash.
Yep. Not only that, but the big, the Finks and the JP Morgans and all these big hedge fund guys, they're trying to get MicroStrategies delisted. Not Bitcoin delisted. MicroStrategies stop.
It says that the average price that they've paid for Bitcoin is around 75,000 per Bitcoin right now. So I was hearing that if in the event that Bitcoin breaks below 80K, there's a high probability that they'll try to, get a push to delist.
Yeah. That's the magic. This is the zone for them for listing stock market. Now, if that happens, you might see a domino effect, a tumble after that, if he doesn't bail himself out. I'm sure he's a little nervous right now, but he thinks that this is the bottom. He's very confident that, this is the zone. This is the bottom. I think it'll go up from here. We're not going to see any more bear markets. That's how he talks.
But thinking an actual, that's a lot to hang your hat on when you have an organization that's built off.
He has to. It's the same thing politicians do when they're accused of doing something wrong. They deny until the court proves them lying. Bill Clinton did it. Trump does it. They all do it. Right? You deny. It's impossible. I would never do that, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you're indicted and prove that you were lying.
Yeah.
But they will never admit it. They'll go to their grave denying it. Right? Now, Saylor has too much to lose, and he's got too many people involved and so much money involved and he's like single-handedly pumping up the Bitcoin market. It's literally, guys. I mean, Michael Saylor is single-handedly responsible for Bitcoin being at the price that it's at right now. And now you got billions more inflow coming. Don't get me wrong. There's other institutions and a lot of retailers out there buying Bitcoin, and there's only so much.
Have you heard of XXI?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Have you heard of XXI? It's
Yeah.
21 Capital and Cantor Equity Partners with Bitcoin.
Yeah, I've heard of it,
It's
but I
it,
don't know anything about it.
it's yeah, it's going live on the next on the 9th, December the 9th.
Yeah, I think uh, Trump Jr. is also um, taking something
Yes,
as
yes.
well. Their Bitcoin mining operation and everything. They're very excited. Listen, Bitcoin is going to go up. Bitcoin is going to hit new highs. The question is it going to drop first before that happens or not? And then so there's support. So what we do as retail traders and price action traders is we really, it doesn't really matter what anybody says. This is the cool thing about what we do. A lot of people trade the news. A lot of people are like, oh, did you hear what's coming? Oh, this is happening. So I'm going to get ready and I'm going to buy this or I'm going to do that. Well, I don't do that. I don't base my decisions based on what the public is saying, what the news is saying, what the politicians are saying, what any expert is saying, more so than what the chart is telling me. Now, on XR, now some of you might say, "Oh, that's not true, Nico. You talk about XRP like it's going to $1,000 because other people are saying that." But really, let's just look at XRP. Does anybody want to guess how much XRP is up in the last year? All right, so this is XRP right here. Remember what I was saying about the different levels. It does this often. It goes up, holds support, goes up, holds support, goes up. And this is the most recent one we're in right now, but it's done this a few times. But let's just go back to
Just last year.
I said a year. Let me just go back to, I meant this bull market really, but even this last year. So this last year it was at 40 cents. Right here was at 39 cents. Right here. 855%. I don't think XRP is going anywhere. In 1 year, it grew 855%. Now let's just take that back to 2 years, 1,177%. Let's take it back 5 years, 3,008%. Let's take it back. Let's take it back 7 years. Oh, can't see it. 3,100, 5,000%. And if we go back just, I know it seems like a long, that's 2016, that's 9 years, 2017 rather, 8 years, right here on that dip. It is up 122,000%. So in the next 8 years, let's just say hypothetical, that we see a similar thing. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, Bitcoin went from $13 to $100,000 in that same time frame. But the difference is Bitcoin wasn't under investigation and security and in court cases with the SEC for 8 years straight. Once all that got cleared up and released, all the handcuffs are off. And during that time, XRP has been building multi-billion-dollar relationships with financial institutions. This is going to explode. And far as I'm not basing it on what anybody else saying, I'm basing it on just what's going on. And if you look at this, a lot of people just don't have the patience to wait for this. They're like, oh, they've been saying that forever. Oh, it's been $3 for long. No, it hasn't been $3 forever. It was 3 cents, not even 3 cents. It was 1/3 of a penny here 7 years ago. Okay, just like Bitcoin. So the difference is that when XRP goes up to $5 or $13, it's not much. That's not a big pump to the upside, but that's huge. Just from where it's at, that would be oh shit, my brain's not working today. $13 divided by, where is it at right now? $2. That would be in a 6.5x more from where it's at right now. Can anybody see that happening? Because, I mean, is there any reason why you wouldn't look at this chart and say, oh, it's coming back down, it's going to go to zero? No, hell no. It's never going to do that. All of this happened during bad times. Imagine what's going to happen during the good times. So with that being said, Bitcoin will also double, go to 250, double, go to 500K. But while Bitcoin's doubling, this one's 10xing. So that's why your return, your ROI is greater here than it would be on Bitcoin right now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not selling my Bitcoin and I'm still accumulating Bitcoin, but I'm not, but like I'm not, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity like buying Bitcoin at $13, in my opinion. Bitcoin already
Hey,
has.
Nico.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nico, could you give some clarity on something? I'm not very clear about the difference between the XRP and the ETFs, the XRP ETFs. Could you give some clarity on that?
Well, ETFs are institutional grade tools and products that allow average investors around the world to put their money into a trusted organization, a trusted hedge fund like BlackRock, for instance, or Grayscale, or any Cardinal, any number of these other hedge funds out there who have hundreds of thousands, if not a million customers. These customers are diversified. So what they do is they open up a Roth IRA, or their financial advisor says to put money in this hedge fund or this investment account, and a portion of your dollars are going to be invested in ETFs. They're basically accounts where the hedge fund will buy XRP or Bitcoin or whatever it is, and they will invest in these risky cryptocurrencies, right, on your behalf. And your opportunity is to make money on the way up, but not lose any on the way down. How is that possible? Well, that sounds better, right? Well, why don't I just get into an ETF? Here's why. Because you're going to be maybe guaranteed a 14 or 18% return on your money, which is good. Don't get me wrong. But if Bitcoin doubles, the ETF, the hedge fund makes 100%, and they pay you 14%. But you're eliminating your risk of a downturn, because if Bitcoin dumps, you're still preserving your capital. So they're taking the risk, but they're getting all the reward. Not only that, but they're charging you fees for doing that for you. Whereas if you do it yourself and you just buy XRP and hold it in a safe wallet, and then XRP has 10x a gain, instead of you getting only 14% per year on that return or that gain, hypothetically, it could be anywhere from 14 to 20%. You're getting 800% gain by holding it yourself. The reason why majority of people don't do that is because they don't understand crypto. They don't know how to buy it. Believe it or not, most people out there, 90%, 95%, they don't know how to open up a wallet. They don't know how to buy this. You know how many people I talk to every day, just being in the business that I'm in, who just don't understand how to, where do I buy Bitcoin? Where do I buy XRP? How can I do this? They just don't know. And I'm not making fun of anybody. It's just, that's the majority of the world right now. We're so new. Even though I've been doing this for years, I had 50 Bitcoin at $300 back in
Damn, 50
2000.
Bitcoin at $300.
Yeah. And I sold it at 9,000. That's when I learned my lesson about Bitcoin. Now, don't get me wrong, I made a nice profit, but then it dumped down to 3,500. And I thought it was a genius. I got out just in time. And then it pumped from 3,500 up to 20 grand, and then up to 40, and then up to 50. And I was like, holy shit, what did I do? What is this thing? What is this Bitcoin thing? And I was telling everybody to buy it back then at $1,200. It went up to 1,200. Before it even went up to, $9,000, I was like, buy it, 1,200, buy it at 2,000, buy it. And everybody kept saying, all my friends kept saying, it's too late now. You got it 300. It's up at 1,000. Now it's too late. Now I'm going to wait for it to come back down. And then it goes up to 5,000. Then it goes up to 8, then 9, 10, so far. So I learned my lesson that these things now, in hindsight, it's easy to see, they're not going away. Institutions are jumping in with billions of dollars. And these are the only assets, guys, in the world right now, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, that you, the average person, can front run the institutions and the governments of the world. Meaning you can actually buy and hold something that the masses and the governments and the institutions are all going to be piling into. And when I say the masses, I mean, guys, if I say less than 3% of the entire investing world has crypto. Do you remember when only 3% of the entire world had a Facebook account? Because when Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, he only did it for the college that he was in, just so that everybody can communicate with each other. And then, do you think? And then it grew. It grew to like 1 million people, and he was offered $1 billion for it. Google or somebody, I can't remember who, offered him $1 billion, and he turned it down. A college kid turned down $1 billion when he had 1 million members. And guess how many members he has now? Half the world. 3 billion people have a Facebook account. So, and what's wrong with the other half? The other half are unbankable. They don't have computers. Believe it or not, the majority of the world, guys, are living in the Stone Age. The majority of the world's population are living in squalor. They do not have cell phones. They do not have computers or access. There are countries on this planet that if you went to them, you would not believe your eyes. You're so used to having the luxuries that we have. They're so blessed to be in America. And people are bad-mouthing America like, oh, America, fuck that. Go. I mean, it pisses me off. Excuse my language. But if you just travel a little bit, don't get me wrong, there's beautiful countries that are so far advanced. Singapore, Dubai, holy cow. And the reason why Trump now wants to get rid of the IRS and eliminate income tax is because he sees like when a country does away with income tax, like Dubai, the people flourish and they spend more money. The economy goes through the roof. Everybody does better. The powers that be didn't want that for you. They want to keep you down. They want to take part of your hard-earned dollars. They want to suppress you. And yes, people do break out of that matrix. People do get ahead of it. People do earn more than their cost of living, but it's only a small fraction. That's why it's called the 1%. And the 99% complain about the 1%. And we should tax the rich. And we should make these people pay these damn smart people who learned how to make money. So that because misery loves company. But they don't realize that everyone has the same opportunity, but it takes skill and education and knowledge to understand what's going on here. But anyway, I digress. What I was saying is that when crypto is one of the only things that even impoverished nations can benefit from, because all it takes is the leader or a leader in an impoverished nation to have a Bitcoin fund to help the people. I don't know if you guys remember during the beginning of the war with Russia and Ukraine, when their infrastructure got knocked out, their power got knocked out, people were in the streets begging for food. Who came to their rescue? Anybody want to guess? Bitcoin. Somebody there raised like $500 million worth of Bitcoin deposits from other countries. People were just sending Bitcoin to help. And that guy fed thousands of people where the banks couldn't do it because the power was out and the banking systems were knocked out. So crypto is a miracle. It's like, it's amazing compared to what we've been dealing with for the last 100 years. I mean, if you try to get on a plane with a suitcase full of cash, they would confiscate it until they figured out where you got it. If you got on a plane with a suitcase full of diamonds, they would confiscate it. Gold bars, they'll confiscate it because that's suspicious activity. Try to wire $1 million to somebody in Croatia or somebody in the Sudan or somebody in another third world country. See what happens. You're going to have to go meet with the bank. You're going to have to prove who you are. You're going to have to go through Interpol. You're going to have to go through the FBI. They're going to investigate you. They're going to find out why you're sending this money, who you're sending it to. But you can get on a plane with $1 billion with Bitcoin on a hard drive in your wallet, in your pocket, on a zip drive. You can transfer $1 billion to anyone in the world, no matter who they are, and privately without anybody knowing, without going through anybody. So yeah, that's a big deal. And they were trying to stop it for a while, but they realized they can't. So now what are they doing? They're joining the party. They're like, okay, we can't stop this. Let's figure out how to regulate it. Oh, we can't regulate it? Well, let's figure out how to control it as much as possible. Oh, we can't control it. All right. Well, let's just create hedge funds and ETFs and try to get the majority of people to go through us instead of on their own. That's really what it is. And so what we're teaching you how to do is just do it on your own. You don't need them. Yeah, and if you prefer them, by the way, we have people in this group that have money in ETFs. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's just like hiring someone to do your investing for you. You're paying a fee for nothing when you can learn it yourself. And a lot of people don't want to learn themselves. Yeah, go ahead.
Nico, I'll just say, thing with Sailor, it's basically BlackRock and JP Morgan Chase doing what they've always done. They manipulated the gold market 25 years ago with was it Brown in the UK basically said that he was selling all their gold reserves. They crashed gold to 254 and Chase and BlackRock bought it all up, and then we had a run on gold, buying it all up. It's no different BTC or XRP now. They're crashing the markets so that they can buy it up. Sailor, though, is just as much a shark as they are. They think he's freaking stupid, but he raised $1.4 billion for these Bitcoin-backed stocks that he's promoting, which is their space, which is, I'm sure they're pissed at. But that's basically 2 years of dividends for those stocks. So he raised the money in advance so that even if things crash, he's got, money, and he's still got to keep raising money. So, I mean, he's no dummy as far as that goes. But they're playing the same old games. I mean, JP Morgan, they manipulated silver markets in the past where they literally have their own trading platform. They can see where people's buys and shorts are and stuff. They'll put a low bid in, crash the markets, then go in and buy it all up. I mean, JP Morgan himself did that like 115 years ago. We would manipulate the stock market to his advantage and stuff. So it's really no, like you said, no different than it is now.
It's no different. This is just it's a new game in town, and they're all going to get in on it. But that's why I'm saying, guys, you can front run that by having, like, if let's just use XRP as an example. Let's say XRP becomes the scarce winner. In other words, it's the token that is going to be settling all debts and settling all, transactions around the world. Let's just say hypothetical, because that's the word on the streets, right? And it's not just some guy saying it. It's like it's all the banks, all the credit card companies, all the financial institutions, all saying it. Okay, they all are in on it. They've been in all these big meetings. They're all getting prepared for it. So let's just say it happens. There's going to be a run, just like a run on the banks. There's going to be a run on XRP. The liquidity will dry up. It will be unavailable to the masses. Nobody will be able to buy it anymore, because when you go to Coinbase to buy it, there won't be any. Now you might say, well, how is that possible? There's billions. Well, guys, anybody, I think Bill knows the answer. I don't know if Bill's paying attention right now, but
yes, sir.
How many XRP are available? Again, I know you've mentioned it a couple times. I keep forgetting, but
I think there's 40 billion, 30 or 40 billion locked up, and then 60 plus billion are on the open market.
60 billion on the open market, 30,
40 are locked up by the institution.
Yeah. So when the institutions can't get any more from the Ripple ledger, in other words, the XRP that's not on the open market, not on the retail market, guess where they have to go to get the rest? Those two ledgers will be merged, and XRP will be bought up by the billions, not billions of dollars, billions of XRP, until the price appreciation. Now, what's going to happen when XRP pumps to $10? A lot of retailers who've been sitting on it for 10 years are going to take their profits, right? They're going to be like, oh shit, I'm getting out now. This finally happened. And they're going to get out, and guess who's going to buy up all their crypto at $10? JP Morgan. They don't give a shit because they know it's going to go to 100 or 1,000. $10. Give me a break. They're going to laugh at you for selling. So just don't be that person, guys. Pretend you don't have it.
Yeah, they were saying that once it goes up to about $100 per coin, you probably have less than 1% people holding the coin.
Yes. Be the 1%. This is your chance to be in the 1% without hardly even trying. All you have to do is just sit and wait and hold. And I'm telling you, that is what's on the horizon. It's not a matter of if this happens, then this happens, and this happens, it'll happen. No, those things are happening. Those things are in the works. And so I'm excited for that. And I've done my part for myself and my family, and I've been, shouting it from the rooftops for the members of this group and everybody else. You don't have to listen to me. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But if I'm right, it's, Powerball money. Powerball at 600 million money. It's like, and that's not a 1 in a billion shot either. That's like something that is almost inevitable to happen if you just sit long enough. It's kind of like if you would have known that buying $1,000 or $13,000 worth of Bitcoin at $13, if you would have known that it was going to 100 grand, I'm pretty sure every one of you would do it right now. You would mortgage, if you knew for sure, you would do it right now. And it did exactly that. And that $13,000 investment would have made you $100 million. And so it's going to happen again. And it's going to happen for XRP. It's going to happen for maybe a couple other ones. XLM, I see you guys try to send Bitcoin. I'm sure you guys have all done this. It takes you 20 to 30 minutes for it to hit your account, your other account. Send XLM or XRP. It's there before you can even go look at the other account. It's instant. That's the Lightning Network. That is where we're headed. That is the future of transactions. And so, so I don't see how it's possible for XRP to not appreciate drastically in the coming months and years. So if I'm right, great. If I'm wrong, okay, I took a risk, and that is a risk. Holding tens of thousands of XRP is a risk. But when you look at the chart, this is upward trending. It hasn't come back down to these levels yet. Doesn't mean we can't have a bear market and it can't drop below this. To this. So let's just say it drops to the bottom of this upward trending support line right here. What does that bring it? $1.50, $1.60. That's still huge. That's a great buying opportunity because the next balance after that, guys, look at this. Look at this. We were at 5 cents here, and it went all the way down to 0.003 cents before going all the way up to $3.50. And then it was at $3.50, and it went all the way down to 38 cents before pumping up to $3.60. So, guys, this is just repeating over and over and over again. If you have that power or the insight to see this, which you guys do, but most people don't. Most people aren't looking at charts. 99% of people are just looking at their Coinbase account, and they're seeing the price, and they're not understanding, why is it going down? All this good news. Oh, XRP sucks. And they just don't understand the big picture. They don't have any patience. They don't understand what's happening. And they get out. There's a ton of forums out there where you're going to see people talking bad about XRP because they've been in it so long and waited so long, and they laugh at the XRP army. But those people are the ones that are holding are the ones that are going to have the last laugh. That's all there is to it. Just like Bitcoin. If you bought Bitcoin at a penny or 5 pennies or $5, you had the last laugh. People didn't believe in it back then. Do you think the guy would have traded 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas if he would have known it was going to 100,000? $32 worth of pizza cost 10,000 Bitcoins because that's how much 10,000 Bitcoins was worth. $32. And he traded that for 2 pizzas just to be the first to do a transaction with Bitcoin.
I don't think it ever would have gone to 100 grand without guys like him. Really, we should be using it as much as we can. We should be paying for as many things as we can in it. We should be sending it to our friends. We really should, to continue to build the economy just like he did.
Yeah, absolutely. That's $1 billion he paid for those 2 pizzas, guys. It's crazy. It almost sounds impossible, but it's true. And this is why I keep saying this. It's the only thing in our lifetimes, guys, that can do this, that you can have that kind of price appreciation, that you can front run the governments and the banking institutions and the hedge funds, that you can front run, get in it before it happens. The only other way to get that wealthy is for you to be the 1 in a million or the 1 in 100,000 or the very 1% that builds a very successful company, because companies and businesses are the only other things that can create that high of a return. Nothing else. You can listen. I know regular people who built products that they sell on Amazon or Shopify. They created a brand, they launched it, they advertised it, and they build it up to $1 million a month in sales. That's $12 million a year. And then they have an exit for 30 million and they sell it. Yeah, you can do that. You can still do that to this day, but you got to know what you're doing, and you got to have a brand that sells and a product that people want. And so there's a lot of work involved to build a company like that, but anybody can. I wouldn't say anybody can do it. You have to have the balls, excuse my language. You have to have the guts, the glow. You got to go through all the pain and sweat and blood and tears. And that's not everybody's cut out for that. I mean, I already know most people can't handle entrepreneurship. They have one failure and they give up. But that's what it takes. If you want to, and we all idolize these people out there who have made huge amounts of monies, or not idolize them, but we respect them at least for building something big, and becoming billionaires. But look at these people. I mean, look how they live their lives.
And the key to getting there is utilizing credit. That's like, I would say, the poor man's mojo to being able to do that.
Yeah, OPM, other people's money, guys. It's either a line of credit from a banking institution or investors or partners. I used to flip houses and I did quite well using my own money, but I could only do one at a time, and then I would do another one, then I would do another. When I started partnering with people, I was able to buy 50-unit, 100-unit apartment buildings, and because you can't do it on your own. And then, in order to get the big money, you have to refinance that equity out, pull it out, and you need banks for that. And then you take that refinance money and you buy more, and you keep growing your portfolio, but you're using OPM, other people's money. And then, and not only that, but when we bought those apartments, we asked the seller to finance and carry notes. So that's credit. We're borrowing from the actual seller. And we have a certain amount of time to pay them off and refinance it. So that's all negotiation and strategy. But if you don't do that, then how are you going to ever buy a 100-unit apartment building on your own? You have to save up $10 million. It's impossible for most people, and they can't even fathom it. So you have to learn how to negotiate, learn the strategies. And that's what we're teaching here with crypto, guys. We're just trying to teach you the strategies so that you can. I can't guarantee you're going to get rich by being in here, because you got to do a lot of right things, but you can at least learn what you have to do. Up to you to do it, but you can learn what you need to do. And I would say, and yeah, guys, I want to get into the buy one, get one free. Sorry, on the notes. There's no deadline right now, but they gave us like a week, 7 to 10 days. First of all, the deadline, the buy one, get one free promo already ended before I had Billy on the call last week, and they opened it up for us. And I think they gave a week or 10 days, which was that this week or last week? I can't remember. When did I have him on? So we're at about 10 days. We're about 10 days right now, but Billy said, just keep doing it until, if it doesn't work, then let him know and he'll see what he can do. So try to get it done as quickly as possible, guys, if that's what you're trying to do. If that's what you want to do to buy one, let me just go look over here and see what's going on.
How many coins is it mining for you for?
Yeah, let me show you. This is mine right here. I have 20. Okay, I have 20 nodes. They're all active, but for some reason, when I first did mine, guys, I made a mistake too. I couldn't find where to put node guy in the coupon code section. I did put renegades in there, and I called Billy up and say, listen, I placed the order for 10, but I forgot. I couldn't find where to put node guy. And he laughed at me. He goes, don't worry, I'll get it straightened out for you. But the 10 showed up and the other 10 didn't. And then it took like 2 days or 3 days for the other 10 to show up. So I had 10 in here, and then they went active. And then the other 10 showed up a couple days later, because Billy went and talked to the admin to let them know that I was supposed to get buy one, get one free. And then the other 10 showed up, and they were not activated for like 3 days before they finally went active. So when I go into, and I'm just in total transparency here, when I go into Kaibo, I kept seeing 0 up here. I'm like, what's going on? Why aren't these things populating yet? and Billy told me to go to where the asset bar is right here. But he was telling me to do this on my phone, and I didn't know that. And I'm looking at this, and I couldn't see what he was talking about. He says the 3 little lines at the top left corner. I don't have 3 little lines up here, but that's this menu here. So he was telling me to come to here, distribution. And when I go to distribution, I can see that I've accumulated 6181. But the first day was based on 10 nodes. And then you can see when the other 10 were added, it doubled. But they're all pending still. So this pending, he says, takes about 5 days. And what will happen is the first day will go unpending, and those will be available in my wallet. The next 3 days will stay pending. And then one of those 3 days will go active or go not pending anymore. But then there will be another day pending. So we'll always be 3 days pending. But the first day will eventually end up in your wallet. So I've accumulated 6181 so far. The average, I mean, I should be minting 2,470 tokens per day, every day with 20 nodes. Okay. And so this was just an anomaly. This would have been 2,470 if all 20 would have went active at the same time. So those of you who bought 10 and got to buy one, get one free, and they all went into your server at the same time and went active the same, you won't have this problem. I missed half a day. I missed half of my earnings there. Now, when I go over to assets, it's not showing here yet because they're still pending. But once they do, it's going to start showing here. It's going to show my available balance, my staking balance, but I haven't staked any yet. But once it starts showing in here, I can then stake, right? I can stake, and then right here, and then I will earn an extra 20% on that. Now, if it takes 8 months, let's just say it takes 8 months to a year, and this token gets up to 75 cents, hypothetical, that would be great, right? So well, let's just do the math here. I got 2,400 generating a day times, let's just say a year. That's 365 days. That's 876,000 tokens. If we get to 0.75 cents, that would be not bad, right? So that's how this deal works. Now, let's say it gets to 75% in a year. Now I'm earning 2,400 a day still, and there's not going to be a halving. Somebody keeps asking about the halving. No more halvings. Okay, so 2,400 a day times 0.75 cents. I'm now earning $1,800 a day times 30. That's 50 grand a month going forward. Now let's say it goes up from there to 80 cents, to $1, to $2. So somebody asked before, why don't I just buy a couple million instead of buying these nodes for $10,000 and getting 20? Why don't I just take $10,000 and go buy this token? If I do that, let's just do the math. 10,000 tokens. I'm sorry, $10,000 times 0.005 cents. That's the current price. Oh, I didn't do that right. Hold on. 10,000 divided by 0.005. That would be 2 million tokens. You could buy right now 2 million tokens, and that would put you way ahead of me after a year. I would only have like 875,000. And if you get that, and if that price does go up to 75 cents, you will have a lot more money, but you won't be minting any. So as soon as you sell that and take that profit, you have no more money coming in from that. You'd have to buy more. And are you going to buy more at $1 or $2? No. So here's what I recommend. If you got the cash, buy the notes and buy tokens. Buy $1,000 worth of 15 at this price right now, guys. Holy cow. You could be sitting on an extra. Let's say you take $1,000 worth instead of 10,000, 0.005. You could buy 200,000 of these tokens now in addition. And that goes up to a dollar someday, guys. That's an extra $250,000. But so you can do both. I like to set it and forget it thing because, listen, this is a risk, guys. I'm not telling you to buy 10 nodes. The buy one, get one free obviously is a great deal. And that would maximize it. If you just buy one, it still could turn out really great for you over time. It's a very low investment for $1,000. And if it does get to $1, let's just do the math on that real quick. If you bought one node, and let's say it's only generating 100 with staking 120 coins a day, times 365. At the end of a year, you would have 43,800 tokens. And if it went to $1, obviously you made 43x on your money. Not bad. You're going to wish you bought 2 or 3 or 5 by then, but if you can't afford it, don't do it. It's just how it works. And what's the risk? The risk is they don't have all the partnerships. All of these deals fall through. But if you heard my conversation with Billy yesterday, he goes, what I'm telling you right now, I don't even tell everyone else because they won't believe it. I don't even tell everybody else because it sounds too good to be true. But there's a lot going on with this. First of all, Optio is going to be on the major exchanges. They could pay. They're on MEXC right now. I could get them on Phemex. I could get them on all these ones, but most of these platforms charge a fee to list you. They have huge crypto consulting firms that are going to get them on major exchanges without having to pay giant, enormous fees to do it. And price appreciation is going to happen, and that's just how it works over time. But this is not an overnight thing, but it could happen within months to a year that we see, even 5 cents. I mean, if it goes to 5 cents, guys, that's what, 100x from where it's at right now. Okay, Daryl. So I'm on my PC right now, so it's distribution over here. But if you go to your phone, let me just pull up my app on my phone and see what it looks like. So if you go to your phone, you click on where it says My Assets, and it says Optio, it says 0, click on that. And then you scroll down and you see distribution. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me.
Not really.
Oops, hold on a second, guys. I know it's my camera's motion, so it's following it around. Anyway, it's there. You just got to click on distribution. I don't know if you can see that. It's too bright. It's not.
He said he got it.
You found it? Okay. Yeah, it's there. And
So
it'll say pending.
The instructions for buying all this is on the ICOS channel. Is that correct?
Yeah. So let me show you that real quick here. We'll go back to share my screen.
Also, did your conversation with Billy, did he give you kind of like a time frame when this might get, the Optio would get listed on a actual like Coinbase exchange? Or
he likes to not overpromise, but he said 8 months to a year you could see 75 cents to $1 on this if everything that they're doing right now falls into place, which is an if, but it is all in the works. So sometime in 2026. So if in the Discord, guys, go into the ICO channel and just go up here to pinned messages, and there it is. There's the video. This is the replay of the Zoom call that we had with Billy. You can watch that first, and then down here, here's the entire process to get set up. Okay, and you can buy.
Hey, Nico.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for all you guys do. I'm super excited to be in this group. I just yesterday I saw that my 2 nodes, I bought 2 nodes. I saw that the 2 nodes were active before I went to work. But when I go to the office, I don't know whether because I logged in with my enterprise network, I actually saw the 2 nodes active. But right now, from my simple platform, I can't even see the nodes anymore. It shows 0 nodes active. So would you know what I can
you're logged into what now? Simple?
Yeah, I logged into Simple yesterday in the morning because the 2 nodes became active yesterday in the morning before I went to work.
Wait, what did you just say? I couldn't understand what you said. Two what?
I bought 2 nodes.
2 nodes, okay.
Yeah, right. So yesterday morning it was active. So when I got to the office, I logged in. I saw that the two nodes were active, but much later at evening, when I got home, I discovered that I had 0 nodes active. I don't know what the problem is. I've reached
Okay,
out to.
so in here, they looked active. They said active for the two nodes, but now you're
Yes,
logging in and you're not seeing them.
I am seeing nodes active 0 of 0. So I don't know what the problem is. Yeah.
Did you log out and log back in or refresh?
I've done all that. In fact, I've even sent a message to simple.net. They've not gotten back to me. That was since yesterday, 6 o'clock. So
okay.
Yeah.
Send me a DM with your name and your email address that you use. Are you sure you're logging in to the same account that maybe you set it up twice by accident? You opened up two accounts and your computer's logging you into a different simple account with a different email?
Yeah, actually, when I created that, I had a little issue in the past when I reached out to Optio and they told me the email I used to open the account. So I did that and everything went okay. But hey, I can't even see it right now. So I will just send you the attachments. I will send you my details, and so you can reach out to simple.net and maybe Optio. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will send that over to Billy and see if he can get to the bottom of it. But it seems to me like you might have logged in. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you know what you're doing, but I did that once before too. I had a server for a different node, not the one we're dealing with here, but I logged into the wrong account and I freaked out because nothing was there. I was like, what the hell, man? I had millions of tokens. And it was because I had another account, and when I clicked the login button, I didn't notice that it was a different email that was already like here. Let me just show you what I mean. Here, I didn't notice that here there was a different email, and I just clicked sign in and it signed me in and there was nothing there. But this email was the wrong one, the one that I had in there. So because I had two accounts using different emails. So just make sure you're using the right one, and then send me your information and I'll try to get.
Absolutely. In fact, I want to share an experience that could be a lesson learned for someone. When I was making purchases for the node, my card was tied to a different email address that was used to open the Kaivo and the simple. So when I tried to match to obtain the licenses, I had issues. So when I reached out to Optio said they can only make that the nodes have been deposited in the email that was used for the payment. So I had to correct that, and I saw the node active. So, but yesterday when I got back from work, I saw I didn't have no active node. So I just reached out to them, and they said reach out to simple.net. I've done that. I'm still waiting response. I said, okay, let me mention that to you. And
okay. Yeah. Message me and I'll try to get someone else to help with that. In addition, it'll get straightened out. If you bought them and you have a receipt for the node.
I have the receipt for the node. I can forward them.
And you already got proof of that. You already had them active at one point. So they're probably active. You're probably just not seeing them in there.
Right. I had them active, but the mistake I made was I didn't take a screenshot because I was actually going to work, so I didn't bother to check. So yeah.
All right, no problem. We'll try to get to the bottom.
Can I email you that on the Renegades email address or just on
You can email me at nico@cryptorenegades.co. Don't send it to info or anybody else because.
Okay, Nico, can you just send it on the chat? I can just copy it out.
Yep.
Please, yeah.
There you go.
Nico, is it better to set this? Is it better?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Is it better to set this up on the app, or can we just do this on the laptop? Is it?
I do both. I have both. I like to have everything I have online. If they have an app, I'll want it on my phone too, so I can access it when I'm not in front of my computer.
Yeah, I agree. I just didn't know which one you went first with, the app or setting it up on the laptop.
Yeah, I just do both. I mean, you're setting an account up once, and then when you download the app on your phone, you just log in with the same login that you have on your computer. Yes. Someone asked. Hold on a second.
I need to know where to get the link to buy the nodes again.
In the Discord, on the ICO channel. You got to go into ICO channel, and then up here pinned messages. Pinned messages. I mean, if you scroll up, you could find the post. But if you go to pinned messages, Bill pinned it up here, and you scroll down, and you can see right here, follow these steps. I mean, read this whole thing, read this entire post over a few times before proceeding. Everyone in this group, when they order, make sure to put in order notes, type in Renegade. If they get 10 or more, as they check out, there is a coupon code. They need to type in node guy, just like this, capital NODE, capital GUY, all one word, just the way it's written here, or they will not get buy one, get one. Very important to follow the above instructions to the letter. I have to say this because people don't for some reason. And then they contact me in a panic. Oh, I forgot to do that. Oh, I didn't do that. Okay. So those are the 3 steps. Then here they are. Create your wallet at Kyvo. So you go to the App Store and download that first, or you go, here's what it looks like when you go to the App Store. I posted a picture there so you can see this is the right one. P2P, crypto wallet and rewards, Kyvo. That's what it looks like when you search it on the app. And this is my search up here, Kyvo. And this is what the app looks like. So that's the one you get, right? And then once that's done, go here and buy the nodes. So do this in the right order. Step 1, step 2, step 3. You go here to buy the nodes. And when you click on that to buy the nodes, it's going to take you to this page. Add to cart. It says 1,000. What if you want to buy more? Just click add to cart. And then come up here and type in, just hit the plus sign. 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you want. But once you get to 10, it's buy one, get one free for any amount over that. Then you go to checkout. Down here, checkout. And in order to get the buy one, get one free, here's the add coupons. You're going to click on that and you're going to type in node guy, NODE, capital GUY. Apply. And then down here in the note section, add a note to your order. Renegade. Make sure you do these things, guys, so that they know you're in our group and you're going to get the buy one, get one free discount. And then place order. Okay, after you fill all this out. I used a credit card. I did not use any other form of payment. I used a credit card because I like protection on my credit card. They protect me against any misuse, and I get a ton of rewards when I use my Sapphire or my Amex or something like that. So I rather use my credit cards for all things business related, anything that has to do, especially large purchases, 10,000 or more, where I'm going to get, I might get free first class airfare for just buying this. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, so that's that. That's pretty easy, right? And then you go back to here, and the next step is after you buy them, you host your nodes here at Simple. All you got to do is go to Simple, get started, put your information in, sign up, and then it's going to take you to the next page, which is pick your plan, which is $9.95 a month for anywhere from 1 to 10 nodes, and $29 a month for 10 to 100 nodes. And someone asked about the price going up. No, it's $29 a month for up to 100 nodes. That's not going to change. $29 a month. Doesn't matter how many tokens they mine. It's just for hosting the node. And then that's done. And then once you log in to your account, once you log in there, then it looks like this. And it's going to say 0 of 0 for a couple days and it's going to say searching or trying to find your nodes, whatever. What it's doing is it's searching the database for the purchase of the nodes using your email address that you used when you sign up. And then once it finds it, it's going to say deactivated or pending, something like that. And it takes a couple days for them to go active. Once they go active, then they're working. But then you're going to be like, well, and then you're going to go look in your Kyvo account. You're going to be like, yeah, but it still says 0. Nothing's happening because it takes another 4 or 5 days. I think Billy said up to a week, but just give it 4 or 5 days. And it took me. Now, if I go down here and look, I'll show you. The first is still pending. So the first, second, and third are showing up now on the 5th. So it took like 5 days. It was like Friday night or Saturday. And this just started showing up like today or yesterday or the day before. So it took a few days for this to start showing up in here, and it's still pending. So give it a little time, guys. As long as you're doing those steps, everything's working. You're doing it the right way. Just takes a minute for everything to start showing up. And then after about a week or so, you're going to see your rewards every day. Like tomorrow, when I log in here, this will say the first, second, third, and fourth on the 5th. And then on the 6th, it'll say first, second, third, fourth, and 5th. And then maybe 3 of these will still be pending, but 2 of them won't be anymore. They'll be in my wallet. Okay, it'll start to show up here. Then I can start staking. Look at that. It's up a little bit. It was like 0.0039 or 4 cents. It's up a penny just in the last 24 hours. Look at that. Right here was 0.04 cents. So,
Question.
yes, sir.
Are we, when the node's purchased, is it buying at whatever the market price is of that? And how many nodes do you get? Or, I mean, sorry, how many tokens do you get?
So
does the node represent a value of token?
Yeah. So the nodes are $1,000 each, up to 10, and then it's buy one, get one free if you buy 10 or more. And they are going to be minting about 100 tokens per day each, or 120, something like that. It's got to be 120 because somebody said, oh, that's only if you stake. But if I go and look at my distribution, I only have 20 nodes and I'm minting 2,472 a day, give or take. So what is that? That's $1.40. What is that? I mean, 140. No, 120 rather. So now, and if you stake, once they're available in your wallet here, once they're showing as an asset right here in your balance, and you see them accumulating here, you can click this and you can stake them for an additional 20%, I believe.
Wow. Does that node fluctuation per day?
Slightly. Well, it's the price. It's the value. So if the price is going up and down a little bit, you're getting a certain amount of nodes a day, but the value is going to be different as the price fluctuates.
Yeah, I get that. So, but you're going to get roughly 2,400 nodes a day.
Yeah, if you have 20 nodes, yes.
Perpetuity. Yeah, that's what I did.
Yes.
All right.
That's correct.
Cool. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
And why is the nodes minting these token for us? Is this based on business that's happening on that blockchain? Is that why?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I am not going to spend the hour explaining how it all works, but because we already did. So what I wanted you to do is get educated on this before you buy anything. Understand what you're doing here, guys. Because what you're doing when you own a node, most people will never hear the word node. Most people won't know what nodes are, but nodes are minting. It's kind of like Bitcoin. Let's say you own a mining rig or a mining operation. You know, you've heard of miners, right? And the miners are out there actually making Bitcoin. They're mining it. They're minting it. So what you're doing is minting tokens, which is like printing money. But it's a fraction of a penny right now. So you're printing pennies, but in the hopes that they're not going to be pennies forever. So let's just say this was a penny. It's less than a penny, but let's say it's a penny. I've minted 6,181 pennies in the last couple of days. Let's just say they were 1 cent each. It will get to 1 cent. Right now it's what is it right now? Half a penny, half a cent, or a tenth of a penny. But once it gets to a penny, I'm minting 2,400 pennies a day. Okay, that doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not really in the grand scheme of things. But you're basically printing money. Now, the reason why this will make you a lot of money over time is what I would recommend you do is go over here first. Hold on a second. Where the heck? Why do I can't even find my own? There it is. Go over here and watch this video up here. This is the call that I had with Billy. But in addition to that, Bill, are you able to pin more than this one message?
I can pin anything you want. Which message?
There's another one that I posted after that one. That's the instructions for how to buy everything. But let me go back up here and show you. I also posted, we scroll up. I don't know when it was. It was a few days ago. I posted all these links right here. Actually, that's Stormin re-sharing it. So if you scroll up a little more, you'll see my post up here. Here are some articles and news stories about the different platforms the nodes would be supporting. So you can read all these articles, you can watch these videos, you can watch. Here's the founder, Brian Ferry, who's a billionaire, explaining how this is going to work on the blockchain. So please watch all that because it's going to explain it a lot better than me right now. Plus, it's already been done. So yeah, I don't know if you can find this one. I could probably pin it myself right now.
I already did, brother.
Right. Okay, thank you, buddy.
Yep.
Well, one of the questions they asked is, if you buy 1,000 only, do you get a double? You have to buy 10,000.
If you buy one, you mean for
Yeah,
$1,000? Well, no, I mean $1,000 is one node. So when you say buy 1,000, what are you talking about?
Yeah, one node.
Yeah, if you buy one node, you just got one node. You have to buy 10 or more to buy one, get one free.
Okay, yeah.
And Nico,
I got a question about the node. I mean, can we treat it as kind of like capital equipment where, just say, God forbid, this thing doesn't go anywhere, whatever. We own those nodes. Could we transfer those nodes to, say, another project in the future?
I believe these nodes would be only mining this token. So no, but you could potentially sell your nodes, or you could certainly write them off as a loss or an expense if you're doing it through a business entity. But you mean transfer them to another project, meaning mint something else from them?
Yeah, I was just wondering, if they can be like reconfigured to because I know some can, and I was just curious about this node. If they could be used, to mine and mint another project or something like that in the future.
I'm not 100% sure, but I would say no, but I'm not.
Okay.
I can try to get that answered for you, but this is a big undertaking here. We got hundreds of millions of dollars behind this whole project. We got Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank is bringing the stores. In fact, if you go up to my original, maybe it is in this right here.
Nico, the 2-for-1 is
go ahead.
The 2-for-1 is when does that expire? I thought he said 10 days from originally.
Yeah, and we're at 10 days now. So I would just say, and I asked him yesterday, he said, just try to do it. Just keep trying to do it. And if it goes through, if it doesn't, let him know and he will try to push it through for us. But I think that they gave us like a week to 10 days or something. I don't know. I don't really know how much longer it's going to last, to be honest with you. We made the offer for all of you who are interested. I promoted it in the group to let anybody know that I'm going to have them on the call on Wednesday, 2 weeks ago. I promoted it and we had like, I don't know, 200 people on the live call with him. And, all those people have had 10 days since then to do this. And so as of right now, I believe it's still working. So how much time do you need, I guess is the question. And just try it whenever you're ready. Just use those discount codes. And if it doesn't work, let me know and I will try to push it through for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It's just been my.
Go ahead.
Well, no, it is all on me, not on you. You've done a great job introducing this to us. It's just, this is all me. Just
no, I understand.
Having problems with it. Something comes up in these platforms to execute. So I won't be able to do it till tomorrow anyway. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine tomorrow. I'm sure probably till the end of this week, guys. I to be on the safe side, I would say try to do it before the end of the week if you can. If not, if it doesn't work after that, I will try to push it through for you. I mean, I'll try. I mean, all I can do is get Billy to reach out to somebody. He's partners with Brian Ferry. I mean, he's partnering with them on this. This is a big deal. I mean, that guy's a billionaire, so he's got connections. He can probably make it happen, but it's not going to be ongoing. I know that. He's not going to deal with it with everybody for long. He's doing me a favor for doing this right now. So It's not something that he's going to want to keep, making exceptions for over time. He's got people flying into Vegas from around the world to meet him who are buying hundreds of nodes, guys. So he's dealing with much bigger money problems with other people. And he's just an old friend of mine. So he's kind of doing us a favor. And so I'm not going to try to take advantage. Personally, I'm not going to ask him for too many favors. But at the same time, I'll do what I can, I'll do what I can to help everybody get as many as they want. But don't overextend yourself either, guys. Don't sell the farm or, remortgage your house or jeopardize your marriage or anything like that for anything like this. You know what I mean?
Of course. Thank you, Nico.
You're welcome. It's a risk, it is a risk. There's no guarantee that anything that we say that this is going to happen the way they want it to, but we got some big names involved, big people behind the scenes working on pushing this through. And this doesn't have to go to $1,000, but they're talking about ETFs and everything. They're talking about a lot of things happening in the future for this. This doesn't have to go to $1,000 or $500 for you to get rich. It has to go to $1 to $5. It has to go to like $2 or $3, and that's it. Yeah.
Nico, quick question.
Go ahead. I'll wait.
No, it's real quick. For a small fish, would it be safer to not get the nose and get the, something else like, I don't know, element, or wait for it to become an element and get it like that would be safer?
But you can buy this token right now on MEXC and some other platforms. I think I can't remember all the platforms. Someone else mentioned it in here, but you can buy the token directly right now. And, normally I think that's a good idea to do, because you could buy for $1,000 for one node. Just think about this. One node is $1,000, and that's going to mint you about 100 to 120 tokens a day. Let's just say. So if you do that, it's going to take you a year. Let's just say 120 a day times 365 days. It's going to take you a year to accumulate 43,800 tokens. But if you want to buy 43,800 tokens right now, divided by 0.005 cents, it would be for $1,000 rather, if you bought 0.005 cents, you could buy 200,000 tokens right now for $1,000. See what I'm saying? And then if it does go to 75 cents, 50 cents, you made 100 grand on that $1,000 investment. Whereas if you do it the node way, you got 48,000 tokens at the end of the year. Let's say it's at 50 cents. Then you only got 24 grand. So you would make more in a short time if you have less money by buying the tokens, but that would be a one-time hit. Remember what the nodes are doing. So let's say it did go to 50 cents and you got $100,000 there for your $1,000 investment. You need to sell those tokens to take that profit. Once you sell them, you have no more tokens. Are you going to buy more tokens back at 50 cents or $1? No. So that's a one-time hit. Yes, that's why I say do both if you can. But me, on the other hand, because I bought 20, I'll accumulate enough, like say 800,000 tokens in a year. If it goes to 50 cents, that's $400,000. I could sell all of that and pull 400 grand out. And the very next day, I'm going to mint another 2,400 tokens and continue to mint them. So I have a money machine basically minting the money every day. And so at 2,400 tokens a day times 0.50 cents, that's $1,200 a day. So even after I pull out the 400 grand, I got 1,200 a day coming in. So that's the difference with the nodes. It's more of a long-term strategy. It's more of a think big, but do both if you can. But if you can't, shit, go buy XRP. This is what I said before. If given a choice, and you only have a small amount of money, at $2 right now for XRP, I think that is, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I don't know. This thing could take off. The node thing could take off, but I'm pretty sure XRP is going to. But, try to get the biggest bang for your dollar. I'm just fortunate enough, and a lot of people are fortunate enough to be able to do both. I have a lot of XRP. I bought 20 nodes. I'm diversifying my bucket here into different avenues just in case. But if you can't do all of it, I don't know, for $1,000 bucks.
That's what I've been doing is XRP and an Element and stuff like that for now.
Yeah, I would
Safe bets for
I would
now.
forget. I would forget. Don't buy any more Element. I mean, Element still has great
No.
potential, but it's been going on for 2 years and it's still kind of low right now. So I would say that there's just as much hope for this one or XRP, more hope for this one or XRP than Element at the moment. I bought 2 nodes for Element for $2,500 each. That's $5,000. That was back a year and a half ago, and I still haven't seen. Let's just look at it. Here's Element right here. Element. It's just kind of floundering around down here at the bottom. It's kind of upward trending now. It was downward trending for a little while. It's upward trending. But it has its little moments when it spikes up, but it's still at 0.0003 cents. But they have a lot of big things happening. They have calls. If you guys are in Element, you come over here and go into they have their own Discord group right here. And they go live, they have calls, or they talk about what they're doing, what's happening, what to look out for, and when things are supposed to happen. So it's a robust organization. They have tens of millions behind them as well, and they're working on a lot of big projects. But it's just taking longer. But this one's a totally different game. This one's more likely, I think, to get mass adoption faster because it's dealing with things that everyday people use. With Element's a great idea, but there's a lot of people that don't really care where gold comes from. They don't care about saving the gold mining and the atrocities that happened with all the slaves in the mining operations. That's a humanitarian thing. And there's a lot of people that love that aspect of it, but it's not something that might be mass adopted like this. So I was able to do that too. So I'm just doing them all. I'm diversifying a lot of different things. I also have a lot of XLM, a lot of HBAR, a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of other things. So if you're able to do more, do more. But if not, if you got to pick one, or if you're low on funds, go with the highest risk to reward in the shortest period of time. XRP at $2. I don't think you're going to lose there. I think that's a good bet. If you can buy 500 XRP right now for $1,000, and XRP does make it 500 XRP, and XRP does get to $10. Oops. You 5x your money. If it gets to $1,000, you've 500 XRP, and it gets to $1,000 in the future, you got 500 grand. So that's a good return on your money right there.
Nico, Cindy Cassiapo made a comment a few minutes ago. Do you think something like that would work? And how would that work with transferring nodes?
Hold on one second. Let me look at it. No parentheses, just node guy. Yeah, so Sunnyval, good question. If you get 10 or more, buy one, get one free, and then you come back in a day to get a few more, I believe you would still get the double or nothing, as long as the double or nothing offer is still going. I believe you would. I'll check on that, but I think you can buy more. Also, we answered the question the other day that if you have to break it up on 2 cards, you buy 5 nodes on one card and 5 on the other. You put all the buy one, get one free codes in. But if it doesn't work, you let me know that you did buy 10 or more, even though you broke it up on different cards, and I will let them know, and they will just go to check that you have 10 or more total, and they will then honor the buy one, get one free.
Hey, Nico, I have sent the email to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll check on it.
Sure.
I'm trying to find, Cindy, not sure if there are 9 people on here who trust me enough, but if there is, and it's okay with Nico, Billy, and Optivo, I will put the 10K on 1 or 2 split of my cards and distribute the nodes to other 9 buyers, if that is possible at this late hour, and okay with Optio. Would have to do Zelle for it. It is so no one could reverse the charge on me. In your opinion, okay. Cindy, that's very nice of you to do, but I personally don't recommend it. that is and I know other people were going to want you to do it. They're going to say, oh, that's great. Let's all pull in on this. But me personally would not do that. I got people reaching out to me every day. Hey, I'll just, if I give you 100 grand, will you just trade it for me? I'll give you 20%. I'll give you 10% of all the money you make. And I do not do it. I've had people want to send me $1 million in the past. I don't do it because I don't want someone breathing down my neck, texting me all the time. How's my money doing? Hey, what's going on with our investment? Hey, I sent you money and I didn't get anything, or I sent you money and you lost. I don't want to deal with that. I want to teach you how to do this yourself so you can control it. And why would I trade your $100,000 for 20% when I can trade my $100,000 for 100% and not have to talk to you about it every day? So just think about the offer. It is very nice of you, but I don't know if that helps you, Cynthia, at all, other than being nice to other people. If you buy nodes one at a time, now you're more than welcome to come off mute and debate me on that, or dispute me, or tell me your reasons. But
Nico, I noticed a question. I noticed on your trading view, your chart goes back way longer than my chart. Is there a setting or something, or?
yeah, hold on one second. I'm still going back and forth with Cynthia. I'm reading her other questions. If you buy nodes one at a time, up to 10, does the price go up, or is it you can buy only 10 nodes? No, you can keep buying more than 10. It's just that you don't get buy one, get one free unless you buy 10 or more at a time, all at once. I don't know if I answered your question there. Problem is the 3 exchanges are restricted to Americans right now, so not able to buy from the US. What are you referring to, Steve?
Mexi, I'm sure.
Oh, Mexi.
Yes, if you have a referral link like Phemex, could really help.
We have members in our group using Mexi. You just have to use a VPN. So you would set up a VPN first, put your country of origin like Italy or something like that, and then go to Mexi and open up your account.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Nico?
Yeah.
What about MEXC on the VPN? They're looking for your documents for the KYC, and you got your American passport.
There are people in this group that have done it. I think you just need, oh, I'm sorry, Casey, you already answered that question. I think you just use your normal ID. That I'm not sure. I know with Phemex, before we got our referral link and we're helping people with that, you could KYC, even if you open up an account with a VPN, KYC, and use your normal Florida or Ohio ID, and there was no problem. Because it's not being a US citizen that's the problem. They're welcoming you. It's your low.
Yeah.
It's the low. Hey guys, mute yourself out if you're not talking to me. It's not you being a US citizen or a Canadian citizen that's the problem. It's the location where you try to open up your account from. So if you're in Italy and you're a US citizen, it's no problem. If you're, in an unrestricted country and you're a US citizen, it's no problem. But if you're in the US and you try to open, you could be an Italian citizen in the US and you're not going to be able to open the account because you're in the US at the time you try to log in. So I don't think they care so much that you're a US citizen. It's just where you're trying to open the account from.
Nico, I'll just say because of these 2 exchanges, I mean, I looked, there's like 26,000 Optio a day. I mean, that's pretty low. So even if you were to even buy some, the big ask is going to be probably more than probably the coin's even worth. So
yeah, there's a liquidity issue.
Stick with the node, I would think.
Yeah, because it's so new, guys. Yes, it's available on some exchanges. Yes, you can buy some, but you're better off at this stage in the game, in my opinion, just buy the node. But because it's so early. And there's not enough liquidity out there. Even if you were able to buy 1 million of them, you couldn't sell it. There's not enough liquidity to sell them all right now. You'd have to wait for the liquidity to come in. Coin store for opt, but has iffy reviews. Coin store, yeah, that's another option to buy. Yeah, I haven't bought any anywhere, but I will if I can find a safe place to buy them. If it was available on anywhere that I can access it, I would probably buy more just to have a head start on price appreciation rather than waiting for my nodes to print them out. What else? Cynthia, did I answer your question? Does that make sense to you? I don't want to leave that hanging. I appreciate what you're offering to do for people, but I would just, in this game, guys, because we're all, even though we're all part of a family here, we're Crypto Renegades, we're still strangers, and people are people, and there's nothing wrong with what you offer to do. It's just that it can get convoluted if you're accumulating tokens for other people, and they're all part of the investment. Then how are you going to get it to them later? Could you transfer it to their wallet? Yes. You know, it's just more work for you. What are you going to get out of it? It's going to turn into a pain in the ass. I would just say that if you can't afford to buy your own, don't. If you can't afford to buy your own, then don't do it. Don't.
Hey, Nico.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think what she's saying is pitch in on it, and then she would distribute the nodes. So she wouldn't handle like the profits from it. She's asking if that's possible.
So get the buy one, get one free, and then if someone helped her get the buy one, get one free, she would just send them 5 nodes.
Yeah. Like
I'm not sure.
if 10 people pitched in, then transfer 2 nodes to each of the 10 people. I think that's what she's saying.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I still think it would be worth the extra $1,000 for you to just have your own nodes on your own server and not have to worry about anybody else, to buy 2 nodes instead of 1. Me personally. I mean, I understand what the offer is and if you guys do something like that between each other behind my back without me knowing or without me giving my input, I can't do anything about it. I'm not going to stop you, but I just don't personally think I just wouldn't do it. I tell people who want to join Crypto Renegades, man, I really need help. I can't afford your program. I can't afford to get in there. You know, can I just pay you like $50 a week for the rest of my life? You know, please help me. I say no, not because I'm not generous, but because if you are in that kind of financial bind, you should not be trading crypto. You should go stack your money first. Get a job, get 2 jobs, get 3 jobs, and build up some risk capital. Get your financial house in order first before you go start to invest. You don't invest when you're broke. You have to build up some risk capital and some investment capital first. So it's not because I'm being rude, it's because I'm being smart. It's because I'm logical. And so although, because when you come into this kind of environment with a not a poverty mindset, but a lack mentality, meaning you're struggling financially and you're trying to pay your bills and all this stuff, you're not going to be in the right frame of mind to make this work well. You're going to be stressing out. You're going to be taking big risks. You're going to be trying to hit home runs. You're going to be trying to double your money so that you can get out of your jam. And what I would rather you do is have income coming in from another source to pay your bills so that you can focus on this with peace of mind and not be stressed out about it and not be trying to struggle all the time to try to make it work. So you give yourself time to build this out. And so that would be the ideal situation. So with that being said, all I'm saying is that if you can't afford to buy 10, don't. There are other ways, like what Cynthia suggested, maybe pulling a bunch of people together, but I have seen that go horribly wrong before. And then you got to deal with other people. And if it goes wrong and it's just your investment, you took the risk, you only have yourself to talk to about it. You don't have to worry about 10 other people trying to find out where they're, what's happening.
Just don't be greedy. That's all.
Don't be greedy.
Hey, Nico, where do you hold your like XRP for like the long hold?
I personally have a Decent wallet. If you go into the official links channel, it's this one right here, Decent. I have cold storage, but I also have major exchanges, dude. I have crypto.com, I have Coinbase, I have all kinds of wallets in different places. Kind of spread it around just in case. But I've been with Coinbase for a long time, but it is a centralized exchange. Just keep that in mind. If there's a major liquidity shock, can Coinbase just confiscate your crypto? Will they, is the question? Probably not. Can they? Yes. Because not your keys, not your crypto. Right? As the old saying goes.
The crypto.com is a good place too.
I use Coinbase more than I use crypto.com, but as soon as I get the crypto there, I usually transfer it out to a cold storage wallet.
Okay. Yeah.
I use Decent. If you're not trading it. Now, in your trading account in Phemex, that's a decentralized wallet as well. You're welcome to keep, I build some portfolio on Phemex as well, but I generally transfer profits when I make trades into Decent. That's my own personal preference. I don't want to accumulate too much on any exchange, even though DeFi exchange like Phemex is good. Decentralized Web3 based wallet Decent. Web3 based decentralized wallet like Decent is probably the best safety for yourself, because no matter what happens to the exchanges, if Coinbase goes into receivership or gets sued or has files bankruptcy or whatever reason, your coins aren't locked up in that litigation. They're in your own private wallet, and you can go and move them around to wherever it's safe. So if you're holding for the long term, I would use a cold storage wallet, preferably Web3 based. Decent is the one I'm using, and the link is in the Discord.
Thank you.
Nico, can you recommend a cold storage wallet?
Say again?
Can you recommend a cold storage wallet?
Yes, as I was just saying, Decent right here. Okay. Cold storage Web3 DeFi wallet. It's in the official links channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Guys, onboarding for brand new people starting in 2 minutes. Bill has posted the link in the Zoom chat. It's also in the Discord, in the trade chat right here. He just posted it. It's also up here in the announcements channel right here. And so you can't miss it, but it's in the Zoom chat right now. So if you're brand new or even new last week or over the last 10 days, or you've already been on one before, it's a good one to get on right there, onboarding. That's the basics. He's going over all kinds of things. And this is not the basics call, but it's onboarding. And then the next basics call is Wednesday. Make sure you get on that as well. I just want to make that announcement here before 2 o'clock hits, because I don't want you to get stuck on this call, and you should be on Bill's call if you're new. Okay.
Nico, I got a
Go ahead.
question for you. On your trading view.
Oh, yeah. Let me go over that. What's the question?
My question was, like, your time goes back way longer than mine, back further.
Okay.
Your history. Mine starts, I'm on XRP 5-day right now, and it starts at Monday, December 16, 2024. Is there a setting that it goes back longer, or how?
Yeah. So down here, calendar. Try that. What else? Anybody else got any answers to that question? I don't know. Mine.
He might be using like the Phemex chart. You use a different chart.
Are you on? You said you're on TradingView?
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta. Okay, so click on symbols, crypto, and then I am on XRP US dollar on Coinbase spot. It depends on which one you're using. Also, if you scroll down here, you're going to see a lot of different ones. All these different platforms: Binance, Osmosis, Skilling, and I think that there's a Phemex one down here somewhere. Bybit, Binance, but I'm on Coinbase right now. Oh no, I wasn't even.
Yeah, it's fucking muddy, huh?
Yeah, I was on Phemex one, so maybe that's why. I'll check it out. Thank you.
Guys, mute yourself out if you're not talking to me. Who's talking? Who's talking to me? John?
Me, no, William. I'm on the Phemex one, so I'll check it out. Maybe that's why. Thank you.
Yeah, Coinbase goes back even further. Coinbase goes all the way to, oh no, that's not further. That's just 2000. That just ends right here at 2023. I can't even remember which one I was just on. I was on, that's not it. I don't even know which one I was just on.
Nico, I got a question when you get a second.
Binance is probably the best one. Yeah,
Hello?
Binance. Use the Binance one.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So a couple of weeks ago, a guy had called in or asked you about the trades getting. I've been letting my trades go up. I've been taking longs and I've been doing pretty well. But then I let them dwindle and come back down. I know you said you don't use trailing stop losses, but is there like a rule of thumb
Move your stop loss. Well, take the profit. That's a rule of thumb. If you'll never go broke taking profit. So if you're up in profit, what is it you're waiting for? Are you waiting for it to just keep going up? Because it's never going to just keep going up. There's always going to be a bump into profit and then consolidation, and sometimes it comes down to retest. So you move your stop loss to break even at least when you're 15 to 20% in profit. And then if it goes up more, what I recommend you do, especially when you're new, guys, or not even when you're new, but new for sure. But as you start to get more and more experience, you realize that this is also smart, is that when you're up anything over 15, 20%, why not just take it, close the trade out and wait for the next trade setup? If you do that and you become a consistently profitable trader, and okay, sometimes you're going to say, oh shit, if I would have stayed in that, I would have made 50%. If I would have stayed in that, it would have went up twice as much. But most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time it comes back down, and you usually end up saying, man, if I would have closed that trade out at the top, I would have made this much money. Man, I stayed in that too long. That's usually what happens. So, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the thing is, specifically, I did take profit. I was in like ICP, it was like $3.20. It went up to like $9. Zcash, I was in it at like 350. It went up to like 800. I didn't lose. I took profit, but just not what I probably should have. So
right.
I'm just saying, like, if it's up 1,500%, I mean, obviously the greed sets in. I'm new.
That's right. That's okay. Yeah. So here, so right here, let's say you get in right here and it goes up, right? It goes up. And you're like, damn, man, what should I do? So you got a stop loss down here when you entered that position. What I recommend you do is when it goes up and hits a peak like this and then starts to consolidate and bounces and starts to go up more, you move this stop loss up to under that bounce. And when it pumps up to here and comes down and bounces and goes up more, you move that stop loss up under that bounce. Okay. And then if it goes up more and then comes down and bounces, you move this stop loss back again up under that bounce, and then right here you would have got taken out. Boom. But you would have got taken out here way up in profit, not down here somewhere. So you just move your stop loss up until it comes back on you, and at least you would have made more if you would have sold up here on this pump, but at least you still made a lot from your entry from here to here. So I mean, you can do that in the beginning until you really, because it is greed, guys, and the majority of the time is the thing that people need to learn the most here is to control their greed factor and their mindset. We have a guy in our group named Paul. I don't know if he's on this call, but he's been in our group for 4 years now. He's been in since the beginning, and he turned $1,200 into $30,000 in 4 months. And when we talked to him, I did an interview with him for a testimonial, and he said, yeah, he goes, every time I was up 2x, this is on the ICOs too. The ICOs were doing 10x to 20x to 100x sometimes. But you know what he did? He didn't wait for that. As soon as he was up 2x, he closed it out. And I'm like, dude, you missed a lot of profit on a couple of these. He goes, I did. He goes, but I guaranteed my profit by closing out after doubling my money. Every time he doubled his money, he closed it out and waited for the next one. And he grew his account very quickly. And so that's control, discipline, and no greed right there. And he grew his account from $1,200 to like 30 grand in like 3 or 4 months. And now, on some of those trades that he closed out, he could have made more if he stayed in, but on many of them, he was lucky to get out when he did. So if you just close out the trades, take the profit, wait for the next
out of here,
growing your account. Happens to all of us. Musto, happens to all of us. I woke up early this morning in a nice profit and went back to sleep for another hour, only to wake up, stopped out in a loss. Yeah, guys. I mean, it is frustrating, but you know what? These are the lessons. I tell you all the time, it's like telling a kid not to touch the stove. Sometimes you got to touch the stove and get burnt in order to know why you shouldn't touch the stove. I can tell you all day long not to touch the stove, but you got to get burnt first before you really know why I say that. And so, unfortunately, that's kind of like the rite of passage. So you almost have to have these things happen to you to learn not to keep doing it. And sometimes people do it over and over and over again before they learn. So get in the habit of taking profit when you're in profit. You got a nice profit. And don't worry about what profit could be. Well, don't worry about what it's possible for it to go to, because as you know, pumps never keep pumping. If you happen to have a good trade and it pumped up into profit, it's going to consolidate. It's just a question of when. If you're in good profit, take it and wait for the next dump, wait for the next pullback before you enter again. And if you do that over and over and over again, your account will grow. You'll be a consistently profitable trader, and if you make that a habit, you will be doing really well.
I feel like, Nico, that's the difference between, getting stopped out in profit rather than waiting for the long one and then getting burnt by, Sailor or somebody.
Yeah.
In the long term.
Yeah. If I
it's
could
slower,
go back,
but
yeah, if I could go, I'm sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, if I could go back and close out all my trades when my first instinct told me to, I would probably have an extra $1 million over the last decade. But what happens is you should close it. Oh my God, I'm up. This is it. I'm up 75%, or I'm up, $3,000, up 4,000, and you stay in it for whatever reason because you think it's going to keep climbing, and then it comes down quick, hits your stop loss, and instead of making 2,500, you make 1,500. Still good, but nowhere near what you could have made had you just closed that trade out and waited for the next setup. And that's if you put your stop loss in profit and do it the right way. But if you just take the profit, guys, that's one thing you got to get in the habit of, just taking the profit when you're in profit. Mel says, I'm a newbie. I've done 2 trades and I moved the stop loss into profit at 2 to 6% before going to bed, got stopped out, and I was happy with the profit at 6%. Yeah, I mean, first of all, always move your stop loss to break even or in profit, especially if you're going to go back to bed, if you're able to, if you're in profit enough to do that. Because there is a chance you wake up in the morning and you're up another, 200%. That happens too. But if it doesn't and goes back against you, at least you're out of that trade without losing money. There's 2 things you're trying to do here, guys. You're trying to make money, but the second and most important thing is preservation of capital. Don't lose money. That's rule number 1. Don't lose money. Rule number 2 is see rule number 1. Right? Now, we're all going to lose a little bit here and there while we're learning, but if you can get to that point where you can lock in profits or just take the profit as soon as you're up in profit, you will be a much more successful trader. You will actually be making money. You'll be profiting, being a profitable trader. And that's what everybody wants to do anyway.
Can you do one more quick review on Bitcoin and XRP, where it's going to, or possibly?
Yes, sir. So here it is, guys. We're XRP. It's moving a little slow right now. It's down to $2.01. Let's go to the lower time frame. We are bouncing in this zone. It's still heading down. This is that big cup and handle that obviously did not pump to the upside because of the downward trending resistance line. I don't know why it's so far away from this, but it should be right about here. We hit it, boom, and we couldn't get through it. And now, so we have a low down here. And if we bring this up in touch, we're busting through this upward trending support. Are we going to break through here? I mean, we bounced on it and we went below it, but it's moving so small. See these tiny little candles? Tiny, 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 tiny. That means there's no buying or selling pressure happening right now. So it's a good chance that we could just stall out here and come back up because it is right around this upward trending support line. But if it doesn't, let me just move that right to the edge there. I would say that that's not even it. I would say it's right there. We are below it right now. We did bounce on it for a second, but then we fell below it. So it's, and we could retest here and we could come down a little further before we finally get out of this. Where would we come to? We would probably come to a double bottom either here. We got support, resistance, support. So that is the $1.98 zone right underneath that. This is XRP, by the way. We have this whole zone right here. So this is a range. I think Chad calls it the boardroom. Somewhere in this zone where we have all of this support and resistance. I'll just move that right up to here because that is the whole zone. We could see some bouncing. By the way, it's also in the middle of this whole grayed out zone that I have here. If I zoom out, you'll see that this whole grayed out zone is this floor going all the way back to to last year, December of last year, right here, where we're bouncing, even wick down to the bottom of it, back down to the middle of it, down to the bottom of it, back down to the middle of it, down below the bottom of it, back up. Now we're winding down to where, guys? Okay, what's most likely? Somewhere in the middle. Let's just look at how many touch points we have. One there, one there, one there, one there, one here, and we bounce from there, and that's where we're at right now. Right there. We're not there yet. That's a $1.95. We get rid of this. I would say that, as you can see, boom, 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 boom. All these times when we came down to this level, we bounced out. A few exceptions, we dipped down to the bottom, dipped down to the bottom, dipped down to the bottom, and this one dipped a little lower here. But because we already did this, there could be a double bottom where we come down to the bottom of this whole thing and then bounce out. Whoops, I didn't mean to get rid of that. Or we kind of bounce somewhere in here and bounce out. So I think it's imminent that we are going to bounce out of this downward trend. I just don't know how imminent. Is it going to be here in the near future? Boom. Or is it going to be here? Boom. Or is this going to happen when we go below this and hold as resistance? That is not good. If that happens, that has not happened in a year. We've held support at this level for over a year. And by the way, before this, as I showed you, XRP came from down here, and there was another channel very similar that it was in for a while. And then below that, there was another one down here that was like this. And so every time we broke out and created a new channel, we broke to the upside, and this is the latest channel. And so I'm thinking we're going to break to the upside also with all the ETFs and all the good news happening. I think that is inevitable. So, and then look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin did this. This was when Bitcoin ETFs were announced right here at 73K. So this is where we're at in the XRP. We're somewhere in here. And Bitcoin consolidated for 280 days. Guys, that's like 7 months. And we came from 73.8 all the way down and retested 49K before climbing out. And that was Bitcoin ETFs they were buying all their Bitcoin from Grayscale. Grayscale already had the Bitcoin. That's why it didn't bring the price up when all these ETFs went live. They were buying it off the exchanges from Grayscale that already bought it on the exchanges. And therefore, it wasn't affecting the price until Grayscale had no more to sell and they had to buy it on the open market. Boom. That's going to happen with XRP too. They're going to buy it from Ripple. They're going to buy it from the off exchange until there is no more. And then it's going to have to go retail, guys. And there will be price appreciation and it will be huge. Let's just look at where we did here. We went from 70K, or actually when it broke out, we went all the way down to 48K, all the way up to 108K. So what is that? That's 108K divided by 48K. That is a 2.2x to the upside. That would bring XRP to, $5 maybe on the first pump up. And that's just if all other things don't happen, which there's a lot going to happen, I think. So that's kind of what's going on. Now let's look at Bitcoin on the short term. In the 10-minute, it's kind of, XRP is kind of consolidating and correlating with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing the same thing. And Bitcoin did come down and bounce on this support line that I had here. If it falls through that, it still has this upward trending channel support, but the overall upward trending line is this orange one. And let me just zoom out so you can see it. We hit it here. We're still in the upward trending channel on Bitcoin. Maybe. Let me just move that and see. Could be right there. We might have it wicked down to this level here. It might be bouncing. So what I want to see is Bitcoin wind into this apex before breaking out. And if it breaks to the downside, we could see a double bottom on this orange line, just like we did way down here. And if we break that, that's another story, guys. But we are going into a weekend, so sometimes there's a little weakness in the market going into Sunday. So I'll keep an eye on it and I'll let you know. Right now, I'm still in my long. I'm on a short on ETH. Oh, that's because I reversed my position on ETH, which was not a good idea necessarily, but it hit a certain point where I normally do that. I'm still in my long on XRP. I'm out of my Bitcoin because my stop loss got hit. I moved it up as close to break even as possible before that happened because we were in profit on all three of those trades. If you go into my signal channel, I posted right here, all three signals above are in profits, looking for further. They did pump up. They did break out. This was my entry here. We were in profit. It did go up to the top 4 before it fell back down again. And so I got stopped out. That's what happens sometimes. So that's kind of it for now, guys. I got a call coming up in 10 minutes at 2:30, but we've been on for 2 hours and 18 minutes right now. If you're new, you should be on Bill's onboarding call. But if you have any questions about nodes, ask it in the node channel. Are you signing out of Discord on PC so as to get notified on mobile? Oh, you're asking Mel.
Nico, I was going to ask you something. It wasn't really about the nodes. It was more of like how to buy it. You said we can buy the coin. Can I buy it on base? And what is the address? Because lesson learned with Element, I bought the wrong element, but then I found the right address. You had the instructions for it, and then I did it the right way. This time I wanted to do it the right way.
Yeah. So what you do, I don't know where all the different channels that it's available for right now, but what you can do is you can go into Kybo. If you already have a Kybo wallet, if not, I'll paste it. I'll show you. But this is there's the token address.
Yeah.
No, this is my wallet. I'm sorry. This is not token address. Let me go. That's my wallet address, I believe. Hold on 1 second. I'll show you how to find it.
Okay.
So what you do is you'll go to coin market cap. Coin market cap. Go up here in the search. OPT. Might not even be showing here yet. What is OPT, not OPY. OPT. There it is. Optio. Okay. And so right down here, somewhere in here, there will be remember how to find it. Around here somewhere. Buy Optio. Let's see where. Buy on Fender, buy on Uphold, buy on Uniswap. There's a couple places right there. Somewhere around here, there's going to show me the wallet address. I mean, the token address. I don't know why it's taking me so long to find it. Normally I find that faster. These are exchanges that it's on right now. Coinstar and Mexi. Explore, socials, website, white paper. Let me just see if it's on their website. Parlor approved. By the way, somebody asked, become a node owner, all this stuff. You can go on their public website and do this, but you're not going to get the same benefits as doing it through our group and using the codes that we use, guys. So make sure you just know that. Where the hell? Tokenomics, white paper, press release, ambassador, help and support. Most of the time, you can find the actual token address or the token, the token address. I don't know why, maybe I'm just not seeing it. Wait, is that it? No. Let's just go up here and see how you can buy it over here. I don't know if it is available on these exchanges or not. It says it is. Anybody got an Uphold account? Uphold's supposed to be pretty good. I don't want to create an account just to see if you can buy it there, but go to, so who was asking me that question? Just go over to Coin Market Cap, where I just was. Right here. I'm sure the address, the wallet address or the token address is on here somewhere. It usually is. Maybe I just didn't scroll enough. No, they're not making it easy to find.
When they talk about token unlock, does that mean that that's when they're going live on the exchange?
If tokens are locked, it usually means that's when the founders of a token can sell. If it's locked, that means it's locked. They can't even sell until it's unlocked. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't find the token address. These are all the transactions happening now on the blockchain. I'll try to find it and post it in the group, but
Okay, no worries. Thank you, though, Nico.
oh, Tommy the Gun says Uphold does have it on Uphold. I mean, Uphold has the token Optio. So Uphold is a good platform. I would use them. So set up an account with Uphold and buy it there. That's a good wallet. That's like a Coinbase type of, and not only that, but Uphold is also kind of endorsed and recommended by Jake Claver also. As far as centralized exchanges go, they are centralized, but they are good. And so you just go to Coin Market Cap, like I just showed you here, and then click up here where it says buy Optio and go to uphold. I don't know. I've never heard of these. Well, Uniswap you can buy, but you're gonna have to exchange another token for it. But Uphold is a platform you can set up an account, and apparently you can buy there, which is good to know. Because if I was going to buy it, that's where I would go. Uphold. All right, guys, I got to wrap it up.
Thanks, Nico.
Oh, Tommy, you said optimism. They don't have Optio. Okay, well, it says here buy, and those are the options. So I don't know why it would have that as an option, but down here it's showing the exchanges that have it, Mexi and Coinstar. You could go to Coinstar as well and buy it. Let's go to Coinstar. It's just one of those things where you got to Coinstore rather. I'm sorry. It's just one of those platforms you probably got to set up an account, log in. You can always buy it and transfer it to probably a hot wallet like MetaMask or one of those kinds of things. But I haven't gotten that far yet, dude.
It shows right there OPT underneath that little whale.
Oh yeah, right here. Yep. All right, guys and gals, I got to wrap it up. I got a call starting in 1 minute. Things are looking a little bearish going into the weekend, so just be careful. We do have a couple support levels. I'm waiting to see if we bounce there. If not, we'll be talking about shorts, and I'll probably just do a call sometime over the weekend, like tomorrow. I'll just go live randomly if I see something crazy happening. But if we bounce, then we're probably good throughout the weekend. It'll just be down in the dumps until Sunday. But hey, it has happened where going into the weekend, we have a huge pump. It doesn't happen often. It's usually slower over the weekend, but it does happen. So obviously, if we see that, we'll all see it together. But if not, I'll be letting you know what I'm doing. But this is kind of one of those sit on your hands times. You know, we're in a sideways channel or a sideways range. And if we break above 100, we're very bullish. If we break below 80, we're going bearish. So don't do anything in between there. Just wait, make sure we bounce at 80. I mean, what are we at right now? We're at 89. So we're way above the bottom of the range. But we're also 10,000. We're 10,000 above the bottom of the range, and we're 10,000 below the top of the range. We got to get above 100 or below 80. So I'll keep you posted if I see anything happening. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. If you have any questions, just ask it ICO channel, or you could always DM me. I'm not going to go immediately in my DMs right now, but ask it in the main chat as well, and just tag it in myself, Chad, or Bill. And we'll get it, or in the help desk if it's an emergency or something you need help with quick, do it in the help desk. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the chat.